welcome back to my X journey. I am Mrs. Y, and if you are a Hermes lover like myself or about to embark on the Hermes journey, please consider subscribing to my channel. I love to share with you all my shopping experience at Hermes, spilling some tea that I've may heard, and provide you some strategies, tips to get your dream back at Hermes. It gives me the greatest joy when you leave me a comment for advice or directly DM me on my Instagram with your Hermes questions. I love being able to help with my lusty community here. Please follow me on Instagram at Mrs. Y X Journey. And today I am starting a new 2-part series on my Hermes dilemma. So in this video, I will share with you a shocking news that happened close to 3 weeks ago and our reaction to the news. So I would invite you to grab a drink before you continue with this video. So for this video, I will have to invite my dear Mr. Y to share with you all about this shocking news. Since he was the one who had first-hand encountered this experience while I was away on business trip. So let's welcome Mr. Y.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. If you have not yet subscribed to Mrs. Y's channel, go ahead and click that red button below and be sure to give a thumbs up so then she can get lots of like from you guys. And this is, yes, absolutely a shocking news. It's a little bit more than 3 weeks, I think, actually, since it happened. So we're still digesting the news, right?
Indeed.
How shocking when I told you the news. What was your first reaction?
When I saw the text that you said saying bad news, I'm like, what bad news?
Yeah, what would it be?
I was like, oh, maybe it's just not the combination that I want. That's the only bad news that I could think of.
That is what Mrs. Y is referring is inside this orange box here. So, okay, so let me just break it to you all, the bad news. So recently, as you all know, we've traveled to Las Vegas and Mrs. Y scored something. And actually right after when we came back, I contacted my SA, actually while we were still on Vegas, and decided to request a non-quota bag because Mrs. Y will be seeing her parents going back to Asia. So she wanted to get a Hermes non-quota bag for her mom. So we placed in the request on Saturday, and on Monday I got a text from her, from my SA, saying that there is a bag for us. So this is like totally kind of like outrageous because I know my SA can perform because, you know, when you tell her, oh, there is a deadline, she would just want to get it over with. She doesn't like to not being able to offer us something before the deadline.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just didn't know it was that quick. It was just like, oh, 2 days later, she contacted me like, oh, we have this, right? So the bag was supposed to deliver by Tuesday morning. So I contacted her and I said, oh, I can come in, you know, Tuesday afternoon, around 1, if that's possible. And at first she wasn't comfortable because I know Tuesday usually was her day off. So I think she really doing me a favor by just going into, you know, do the transaction and then, you know, just, you know, carry her day, you know, as her off day. So, you know, it was very sweet of her, and by doing that, I that's what my suspicion was. But Monday we chatted through the text and we requested other stuff as well. And so Tuesday I went in a little bit early. I was there 30 minutes earlier. And I went into the store and I couldn't find her. So I was like, oh, maybe it is her off day. She's just coming in to do the transaction. So I just waited basically 30 more minutes. And then I actually, when I got there, I did text her saying like, oh, I arrived 30 minutes early. you know, I don't see you, but I'll just wait until 1, that kind of thing. So then after I waited until 1, and I was like, she's not here. Like, she's still nowhere to be seen. So then I went up to another associate. Well, he looks more like official, so I assume that he's either a manager or an assistant manager. And I asked, well, I have an appointment with this person, right? With my SA. And then he replied, oh, she no longer works for the company. And I was like, at first it's not even registering. I'm like, are you, you know, like, are we talking to the right person here? You know, like I just, you know, messaged her yesterday and she knows I'm coming in today. And I even like spelled out her name because I was like not in belief, right? It's like, you must have got the wrong person, right? You know, all jokes on you, right? No, it was all joke on me. So, and then he said, yeah, as of late last night, she is no longer working for the company. So I was like, what? I'm like, things doesn't, you know, occur that short of a period of time. Yeah. So in the back of my head, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, if she was gonna not work anymore, she would have told me.
Yeah.
You know, I just find it quite surprising. So I texted Mrs. Y saying bad news. And then he was very nice and, you know, carry on. It's like, oh, how can I help you? What was the appointment about? Well, I said, she reserved a handbag for me. And then he's like, okay, let me go downstairs and check. So then I just waited for him to return. And then he said, yeah, I do see something that was on hold for you. So why don't you come downstairs? And then of course they had to go show me in a private room because right now even non-quota bag is just, they're not gonna show it into a open area. So then he just pulled me in. As we were pulling in, I did ask, is she okay? And stuff like that. And there was a little awkwardness because he's like, yeah, she's okay, she's fine, you know. But like, what else can they say? Like, he's like, oh, you know, we couldn't disclose, you know, what happened and all that. So I'm like, I wasn't really gonna even ask, you know, but I feel like there was a connection between our SA. We've become like good, you know, it's like seeing old friends, okay? But yes, you know, she is just our SA, okay? So it's not like we have a, you know, actual friend relationship, but it was a friendly relationship with the sales, right, in the boutique. So, yeah, it was quite shocking. So we really needed time to digest because, like, you know, what happened to all this? So everything here on display was from her.
Yeah.
We purchased it through her.
Yeah.
So what happened to the journey now, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
So maybe you can talk about it a little bit.
No, I was really shocked. I was like, we still have things on the wish list for this year. What are we gonna do now? Because as I shared before, any local boutique actually doesn't have that much offer, or in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, not like, you know, you go to the flagship store, you would definitely get it. It's still a no. However, if you really link it to a really good SA, you kind of don't want to lose that connection, right? Now the question is, we have to build a new relationship, but we still don't know what's going on with that side. Is that right?
Yeah, so as you know, like, we were offering SO, and if you have not yet watched Mrs. Y and our conversation about the SO, we'll definitely link it above for you, so then you can watch that as well. But I think one thing for me was our SA, she doesn't require us to buy a whole lot. Because she does understand that we really genuinely love the brand, and I think majority of the times, the reason why initially they want you to spend like a 1-to-1 ratio is because really they need to spot out like if you are going to be a reseller, okay? If you're just coming here for these quota bags and then go make a profit out of it in, you know, when you get out of the door, that kind of thing. So then that's why like the rule of thumb is easier to just say like, oh, if they buy, you know, enough amount with you, then you can offer them one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the newer essay definitely really go with that kind of rule.
Mm-hmm.
But like with my essay, she's been there for over 2 decades, and you know, she have a lot of insight, and she is.
I mean, she did imply though, like she did keep on saying or ensure that we're not a reseller. I still remember that because the first couple visit up until I got my Birkin, he would keep on saying, "Oh, these, you know, can sell a lot, like the Pegasus or like the Kelly Charm." And then we were like, "Why are you talking to us about this?"
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't say it out loud, but we're just thinking. I'm like, we're not a reseller. Like we don't just buy and sell. So, you know, like she's careful with that, and then we always go back with what we purchase.
Yeah, I think she was still you know, skeptical last year because really the start of this bag was last year July, and then we got offered numerous other items last year, and then I think this year she never even mentioned. It's just like totally out of her mind anymore because we're just, you know, we keep bringing back that the things that she had offered us and the special items and stuff like that. So she knows, you know, we're really buying it for our own use, not for a resale purposes. So I think the major score was, you know, we really got thankful that she offered Mrs. Y the mini Kelly. And to be honest, we didn't even buy 1-to-1 ratio. It was like, it was 1/3 of the price of this. And she bought the mini Evelyn right before the mini Kelly. So
yeah, it's only a few weeks apart, to be honest, these two.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, we were just super blessed that, you know, we have a connection. So now it's just like, oh, the connection no longer there, so what happened to the journey?
Well, I guess we will have to update you guys, you know, how we gonna rebuild, or are we decided just not to shop at this boutique? I mean, we haven't decided because we're still waiting to be assigned to a new SA at the moment.
Yeah, so the assistant manager told me that, you know, he do see that I have an SO on order, so he's like, we really need to get you a new SA. And then he did ask me, like, is there any preference in terms of, you know, who you want to work with kind of thing, male, female, you know. And I'm like, at that moment in time, I'm like, I don't want to specify who or, you know, what type, because I feel like that's
discriminating.
Yeah, it's like discriminating, yeah. And I don't like to do that, and I told him that, you know, like all your staff is, you know, very professional, so I do believe your pick. But as of right now, he told me like that he was gonna have someone to contact me a week later, but of course nothing had happened yet, which is perfectly fine. It's not like we're in a hurry, you know, and it's not like there's items that we're really looking for. I mean, there are items that we told previously, but you know, we're not, you know, in desperate need of those items. So I'm like, it's okay. I did mention that, you know, I was gonna be invited for the grand opening, but now that might be down the drain. So, so I have like zero hope that we will get to see the new store on opening day, unfortunately. But we'll keep you all posted. Of course, Mrs. Y will keep you all posted on that. And of course, if we get invited, then, you know, that's just super lucky, you know, with all this happening. So as the assistant manager showing me this bag, it's like, oh my goodness, this is the last secure bag that my SA had offered. So the good news is, if your SA promised you something, and then the next day he or she left the company, you're still entitled for what they had hold for you. It's just the fact that the bag does not go into any essay profile, which is very interesting.
Yep.
So I saw the receipt, it doesn't even go count as the assistant manager profile in this case.
No, it's just a blank. But then it will say which boutique it's from. But I think ultimately, I mean, if they do a good job with transferring, then I think it may be okay. But who knows? I don't know, because since we didn't buy a whole lot of other things, to be honest, at that particular boutique. But your profile has a lot of different things, so yeah. So we will see. So this is the bad news that we finally enclosed with you all.
Do you think we need to be concerned about our SO? You know, but
I
in
mean,
my
that
opinion,
was what I was thinking though. Like I legitimate. That was the first thing I thought of. Like, okay, so how's the SO?
Yeah.
Are they gonna decline it now? Because they can. If you watch other YouTuber, I mean, they said they offer you, but on the day they're gonna, like, when it arrived, the store manager can actually say no and offer to someone else.
Yeah.
So who knows what?
Well, in my opinion, I don't think they would, because the company is, offer the clients, the opportunity for SO. So the SO is really ties into your profile, not really going through, the SA account.
Yeah,
right?
not supposed to. I mean, you did nothing wrong. I mean, we as a customer, we did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
That we don't think that we should get declined, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I think the manager was really apologetic.
But that's an AM though. He's not in charge of that department.
So I think anyone would actually do that. If I wasn't manager and this happened to a client, I would have to say something like that.
Oh yeah, I would.
Right. And there was supposed to be other items that we were supposed to get on the same day, but then without an SA, I'm like, I'm not gonna get anything else.
Yeah, like what's the point?
Until...
And he understands it. I think he
and I think the gesture, he didn't even ask me like, oh, is there anything else that I would help you with? It was just more like, okay, I show you the bag. Do you want it? If you want it, we'll just go through the transaction, be done with, buy, that kind of thing.
Which is kind of weird.
But I mean, he did open up with other stuff, but that's between, him and I, our discussion. I think the viewer would be interested in terms of what happened to your wish list.
When I heard what happened, I'm like, no wonder.
Yeah. So, good thing I did ask about, can you just double check on my account, what was on my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, guys, your wish list is tied into your account. So the manager or whoever can actually see what you had placed as your wish list within your profile. And apparently they enter one by one. And the reason why I know this is because the wish list that we have currently on file was not aligned with what we actually requested. Dun dun dun. So I quickly know that, what Mrs. Y wants. So I told the AM just to kindly place those in for us.
Yeah.
So now it's all corrected. So
finger crossed.
Hopefully Mrs. Y will get her B25 sometime in the future.
Guys, please help me manifest.
Because it was incorrect.
Oh yeah.
The wish list was a B30 instead of a B25.
Right.
So,
which I don't understand why.
Which it might be because of the previous wish list. It's just that she didn't update it,
Oh, but we told her a few times.
Yeah, and then there was a few non-quota bag that Mrs. Y also wants, so
we'll put it back in.
So yeah.
Did you put this in?
Yes.
Ah.
This is in.
Yay.
This is in. One color choice, that's it.
Let's hope.
So that is for sure all of you guys who experienced similar with us, and I feel like this was among anyone who would happen. I think it was good that it happened to us, to be honest. That is why I think there's a couple of tips that we can offer all of you. Is that you can ensure the wish list is still there, but that means you have the opportunity to ask the AM what is actually on your wish list.
Yeah.
Because I feel like SA, you might tell your SA these are the things that you want. They might not put it in for you. You need to realize that. And I realized that this time, which is very interesting. You can bombard your SA all you want about what you want to get next.
Yeah.
They might not even put it on the list for you.
Yeah.
So I think the relationship really matters.
Yeah.
And then turning things down really also matters. Your SA might not put your wish list to your profile. He or she might actually put it on someone else's profile as well instead.
Oh.
They can do that.
No, I think that may be the strategy. My local boutique essay, like my own essay, okay. When he offered me the constants, the mini constants, he did mention about I'm trying to do like strategic stuff for you. And I'm like, oh, maybe that could be the part of it.
Yeah.
But we don't know how, you know, what his strategy is for me, and you know.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of behind the scenes, so you do really need to appreciate your relationship with your SA. Just, you know, really, you know, genuinely work with them, be very nice, you know, to them. And we always, you know, say thank you, you know, at the store. We always, you know, say thank you back again within the text message. So, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, just be a nice human being. It's not hard, right?
Yeah, it's always a plus.
It's always a plus for anything. So.
And really don't always bombard them with like any update with the list, any update with the list.
Yeah, I don't do that at all. I don't. Like, the only time I did was if I'm in the store and we start talking about bags, and if the essay actually tells you more insights, you know, basically he or she's probably giving you like tips, okay? When that happens, and if you think that you need to give your essay a new wish list, which I did, and they were happy. Like, I mean, any update, sometimes depending on the conversation and all, and I felt very comfortable, and I do want to update my list because there was a lot of things on the list. So I kind of feel bad, I'll keep on adding it. So I actually took a week, because he said, oh, just let me know, just text it to me. So I actually didn't tell him right away because I'm still processing on exactly what I really want. So it actually took me about a week to send him the updated wish list, and the response was great. So now it's a matter of wait. But you know, if it's not this year, I mean, I'm not gonna worry.
Yeah, so it's also tip number 2. I think, you know, it was good that Mrs. Y has her own profile and that she has her own working essay. So then when you have your 2 profile, your husband and your wife, you know, those different profiles, it really works to a benefit, you know, like, even though we lost one of our essay from, you know, the flagship store, it's not like we're devastated to like a point where we don't have a connection. Yes, we have a connection at a more local boutique, which is fine. You know, do we need to be so crazy with getting all of these bags so quickly?
I think it's okay to slow down a little bit, to be honest.
You really need to enjoy the wearing your bags.
Oh yeah, you know, a lot of people talk about the cost per wear, right? I think now is the perfect time of doing so. So I'm not gonna worry about it for now. Plus, I have faith with my essay.
But I mean, Mrs. Y got the hardest of the bag already. So, I mean, if you didn't get this, I think you would be more devastated.
Yeah, this is really hard for local boutique. Like any local boutique, it's like almost like impossible.
Yeah.
But I know, like some area, yes, you will be able to get it. But with our case, you know, the local boutique, you know, it's like the hardest.
And I'm definitely still want to find someone from the flagship store, just because there's always more availability. And I do want to check out the brand new store. If I'm not gonna get invited to the grand opening, it's not like the end of the day. But it was something that, you know, we were working towards, and our essay kind of hinted us that, you know, she wanted us to see the grand opening as well previously. But unfortunately, you know, things really took a turn that we were so surprised with.
Well, things happens.
I think my reaction was like, it was worse than me getting getting fired from a job, which I never experienced getting fired from a job, but I feel like, you know, yeah, it was to a point
No,
that...
seriously, we were like very heavy.
Yeah.
Like, so it was like middle of the day.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said, I was on a business trip. I was actually out with my client, and my face was like dropped.
But we had suspect something, but we're not gonna say it because it's just confidential.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think after that, it makes us feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
So things happen, you know, but like I said, I think it's glad that it happens to us rather than you guys as the viewer. And I would actually be interested if this something similar had happened to you guys. Comment below, because we would love to hear your story as well.
Yeah.
And if you have any other questions that you may have related to what happened if they left the company, how do you proceed, feel free to put the comments below, put your question down below. We'll probably address it,
Yeah.
you know, in the future.
Or you can DM me on my Instagram and we can chat. Okay.
So, ending in a good note is that the next part will be
the unboxing.
Yeah, Mrs. Y will do her usual unboxing, and unfortunately this is the last handbag that my SA had performed before she left the company.
Well, that's okay. Maybe we'll have another surprise. Who knows?
Hopefully, more surprise coming.
Hopefully.
So if you have not yet subscribed to Mrs. Y's My Journey, you gotta click that subscribe button because you really cannot miss her future video with the little bell notification being turned on.
So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!